The Smile Killer's coming off that vicious knockout of the year contender against Matt Favola. And then Mike Davis, man. I mean, what is there to say about Mike Davis? He's unknown to a lot of people. Natan Levy, that submission victory right there, fantastic. You got to win over Slava Claus. Come on, brother. And besides that, man, he just hasn't competed a lot. I think he's had some injury issues, layoffs, just a lot of different problems in that area. Again, I said it in the beginning of the show. Mike Davis is your favorite fighter's favorite prospect. The dude who you know has all the skills to put it together. He just needs to be in there, stay away from the injuries. Ziam on the other side is a guy who I feel like people are trying to fade, but he just keeps winning. But they're trying to fade him, but he won't stop winning. And indicative of that, man, nice 4-fight win streak. You know what I mean? Both of these dudes 4-1 in their last 5. I think that the real path here for Ziam is kickboxing. And if you're Mike Davis, you got to grapple and kickbox, but you got to grapple. And I think the wrestling comes into key here. What do you think?
I think the wrestling, especially for Mike Davis, is going to come into key, and the defensive wrestling guy for Ziam, that's going to be one of the things. He has such a dangerous clinch, but the issue with having such a dangerous clinch and being that tall, anytime you're throwing knees or getting in that close, the other guy can easily grab your leg, shoot a takedown. So I think with the style that Mike Davis has, right, the pressure style of fighter, powerful all around, he's going to have the strength advantage going into this against Ziam. Ziam just needs to be able to maintain that range, do everything that Ziam is good at, and avoid having to have the space crushed in the octagon, right? You hit the corners, hit the circles, sit on your bike, maintain that range, and just pick him apart. And the interesting thing, Derek, I have noted, man, like Faraz, he will pick you apart, but he's also down to stand and trade. So I'm curious to see what version of him is going to be going in there, right? Will it be the Favola where he's down to clinch you up and put some knees to your face, or will he be sitting back, actually hanging out and letting Mike Davis work himself into a trap?
Well, that's the key right there, because I'm normally a super big Ziam. I'm a Ziam fan, don't get me wrong, but in this matchup, I think his frame and his length is actually going to work against him, because I think he needs that space to be effective, because he's a more technical striker than Mike Davis. I think Mike Davis is way more power. He's way more just kind of like an athletic specimen. Ziam will pick you apart if you give him that space, but I think Davis is going to crush the space, and if you're not in the clinch, it's like the distance between not being in the clinch but not being at kicking range and at the end of your shot, being just like right there to just crunch you up and say, what's up? Let's get it. Hop in there, grab a takedown, come back up, make it a washing machine fight almost, or just major control off of the first takedown that he gets. So that's where I see it. It's just a matter of how does the pressure work and can you sustain the pressure? My biggest problem with Mike Davis, to be frank with you, is just inactivity. You know what I mean? Like, I can trust Ziam as a product because you just see him more often. Mike Davis, the last time that you saw him, big win against Natan Levy, like I said. But a lot of people were counting him out for this matchup because of the same exact reason prior. Like, we just haven't seen you. So I don't think that there's much to this matchup other than interesting that Ziam gets the Mike Davis treatment after that knockout. You think that he would have got like a more, like you go from Matt Favola, who's like a perennial in and out of the rankings, to Mike Davis, who is the guy with no name value, but really scary in a fight. So my pick is Mike Davis, man. And it's for all of those reasons that I just alluded to. The grappling, just the blue chip prospect that he is, in my opinion. But he is a little bit older here, AJ. Let's check the ages right here. 31 for Mike Davis, 27 for Ziam. So we'll see how it goes down. Give me your thoughts on this matchup.
Yeah, Derek, I think this is going to be a very close fight, but I'm rolling with the Smile Killer. I'm rolling for Ziam, man, and specifically because I think he's going to be able to do more in the little moments in those transitions, right? Because I do think Davis is going to put the pressure on him, but Faraz is going to be able to find those moments to skirt out, either do some damage while he's on the inside and then make him pay, and then skirt out and get back to business. That's where I think Faraz is going to have success in this fight. I like him. He's the favorite going into this one. If I'm looking at it, though, if I'm looking at the props, at the plus 550 TKO, it's just a little too hard for me, or a little too out of reach, if you will, because in order to be able to get those knockouts, you're going to have to put yourself in danger, and that's where Mike Davis does best. I like the decision plus 225. Makes some sense to me.
Well, I will say that 2.5 minus 145 for the over, plus 115 for the under. Currently, minus 275 for the over, plus 200 for the under. So people are liking a decision here. Are you liking a finish, or are you liking a distance play?
I'm liking a distance play. Still with the decision, I think that's Faraz's best route to a victory right here, or at least safest route to a victory, most technical. I mean, he's an underdog now, though, so we could play either way.